From one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this opening dynamic kickoff not going to be returned. It'll come out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start the drive here with Pacheco. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's 2nd down now.
Yellow.
Throwing now is Mahomes. They'll check this one down to Pacheco. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City 1st down.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
On play action, it's Mahomes. He's going to look deep down the field. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Riley Moss. And they can't bring him down. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
Well, it's football 101 because when you come in as the favorite team, you obviously don't want to hand any kind of advantage to an opponent ready for an upset. Now, you'll be lucky to only be down 3-0 the next time you get the ball back because you've just handed them a dose of confidence to start this game.
First carry for Nick Chubb. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. This defense for the Chiefs, they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
Here we go.
Now it's Nix. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Chris Jones in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. To throw is Nix. His first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And the Chiefs are going to get the football here at their own 23. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Remember last time out, they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed them up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their 2nd possession.
Yeah, one great way to judge a defense, how do they handle what we call sudden change? When all of a sudden, you know, it goes against their offense and have to run out in the field and try to put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensively.
Now here's Mahomes. That's complete. Left side to Worthy. And they're well past midfield just a yard or two shy of the 40. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down. The Chiefs at 6-2 to start play. They come in playing really well on both sides of the ball. They've won 6 of their last 8 CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point by Bucker is on target. And that makes the score 7-0. 7-0 is our score. Ready for the dynamic kickoff as this one's away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. To throw, here's Nix. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. Down the left sideline. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Deebo Samuel with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Lutz good on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Yellow.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He said, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. We can look at this Bronco defense. There are 32 teams in the NFL, and they're just better than 50% of them at defending the pass, number 16 in the league.
I think if you talk to their head coach, you'll get a nice answer about how much he likes his team and what they're doing. But at the end of it, he would admit there's definitely room to improve.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Fall down these two. Right side.
Now Mahomes. He's going deep for Brown. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Brandon Jones picking it off. And the Broncos are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line.
For a team who came in here on a healthy winning streak, we're seeing some uncharacteristically bad play thus far. And that streak is definitely in jeopardy if this offense keeps giving the ball away and can't mount a few drives of their own.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. They'll air this one out for Mims. A huge play there for Denver, 46 yards.
And what great recognition between a receiver and his quarterback, because he's going to recognize the trouble, and then he has two options. Cut off the route and come back to help, or head straight down the field, and he chooses the latter, and it turns into a huge play.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. Down to the 42, 2nd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
Or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down.
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd down and 7. Throwing Nix. Left side, it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Now Chubb running right. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. 7-7, our score after 1. Second and 9. Here's Nix. Flush to his right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
And here you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Nix from the shotgun. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Evan Ingram from 17 yards out. And the Broncos have taken the lead. Well, he's regarded as one of the best athletes among NFL tight ends, Charles, and it certainly was on display right there.
And as we've seen this league continue to grow and develop, I think the tight end position is becoming harder and harder to defend because now it's elite athletes playing that position, not just the big guys who can block. How about his ability to get downfield and make plays against any defense?
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula to get them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they get this game tied up.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. with Pacheco. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Yellow! Come back! Right side!
They go play action. Now Mahomes. Flushed out right. That's complete. It's Travis Kelce. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. First catch on that one for Kelce, and it's a 1st down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
Yellow!
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Yellow, yellow! Right side!
Mahomes now to throw. This is caught. It's Brown. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Marquise Brown, 43 yards. And the Chiefs are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Extra point by Butker is on target, and we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Touchdowns on back-to-back drives, so a very good flow right now offensively.
Hard to slow them down, too, because they are locked in. Feel like the offense coordinator is a little bit ahead of the defensive guys right now. They're beating them to the punch with their play calls. They've got a nice rhythm they're locked into. How can the defensive guys come up with something that'll disrupt that flow? That's what they're seeking right now.
Well, it's been an exciting sequence to watch. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd manageable with that run.
Here comes 3rd down and 7. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That is caught. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Well, looks like they'll move things around here. And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll go play action with Nix. Completes it to Evan Ingram. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Broncos on the move here a bit. Nice plays in succession back-to-back.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
Off the play fake, here's Nix. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Evan Ingram with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Broncos have taken the lead. What a great drive that was. A long drive, sustained, well executed.
I love what we're seeing.
And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. Lutz will look to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14.
Broncos 21, Chiefs 14.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Right after the touchdown to extend their lead, now maybe opening the door a little bit there by allowing starting field position at the 40. The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Headed straight, it's Pacheco. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's second down and 7. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Now throw right side, taken in by the tight end Gray. And he'll get 2 or 3 out of that one as that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, it's Pacheco. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. 67 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'll guarantee you, it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
Eluding the pressure right. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they could at least attempt a kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Rice. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. The catch and run good for 24 yards.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this out with 6.
That is. And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Thankfully for the offense, a fortuitous bounce there on the fumble goes out of bounds because they're down here in the red zone. You don't want to lose one there.
You don't want to lose one, and the best part, because it went out of bounds, they retain possession, still have an opportunity to put points on the board.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. A great read by the secondary. They come up to stop that touch pass before it can even get back to the line. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
Easy. Good shot.
Mahomes going to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Drew Sanders. And the Broncos are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
Partner, there's no other way you could describe it because that was absolutely just gut-wrenching for that offense. They were right on the precipice. Points were available. All they had to do was just fall forward, and they were going to put them up on the board. Instead, a long drive ends in heartbreak and a melancholy trip back to the drawing board. I like it when I go a little bit lyrical for you.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. The final shot before break. Nix going for the deep ball. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Through the middle of the field. And he's in for the touchdown. The final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
So the numbers are starting to pile up here early on. We have yet to reach halftime, yet that is already now 4 touchdown passes. Lutz to try to add the PAT. He's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Inside the booth alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter.
Harrison Butker at kickoff for Kansas City.
Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff. And the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Trent McDuffie with a pick. Not the way you envision things to start out the third quarter. One play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Isaiah Pacheco with his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game. And the Chiefs take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point by Butker is on target. They're within 7 now at 28-21. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. He will return this from deep in the end zone.
Recovered by the receiving team.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive 1st and 10. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. Now 2nd and 5. Nix to the air. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Harvey. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Off the play fake, Nix. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Working out of the gun is Nix. Able to find the open man. That's complete. He's across midfield and all the way down to the 33-yard line. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And able to get this to the 31.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
Let's go.
They run it again with Chubb. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 12-yard line. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Go.
On play action, here's Nix. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find a completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
And he dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's 3rd and 9. Now it's Nix. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Broncos have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. And I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive. So we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have.
Travis Kelce! And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. Mahomes finding his tight end Kelce for a big one. 49 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. So a nice bounce back there defensively after giving up the big play.
Yeah, you can either get down on yourself or you can get motivated. And that time, they dropped him for a loss. So I would say that they got motivated and made the play.
Hey, 57, 57. Watch out.
Now here's Mahomes. Flush to his right. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And now thrown incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And that's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
A 43-yard attempt.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. There he goes, left side. And a blocked field goal. So not only an opportunity missed, an opportunity made there on special teams.
Without a doubt, and I need to check with my analytics guy because every coach we've ever talked to, they always say, if you block a kick in special teams, your team wins 90+% of the time. I've never truly seen that number quantified, but that's how coaches believe.
To throw is Nix. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Evan Ingram, 46 yards. And the Broncos take the blocked field goal and convert it into 6 points. So that one, his 4th touchdown catch of the game, one behind the all-time record of 5. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
42, Chiefs 21.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, It has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the third quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose, and that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a first down.
Attack, attack!
Here's Mahomes to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is caught. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Xavier Worthy, 51 yards. And the Chiefs are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the third. Extra point by Butker is on target. And the lead will be cut down to 14. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second and 10. And trouble trying the middle here. Powers through it. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And again, it's Chubb. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now for getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. To throw, here's Nix. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Throwing Nix.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late, and that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
Let's go.
Here's Nix.
Touchdown!
Marvin Mims.
An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Broncos look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. So that is going to tie an NFL record that has stood for more than 70 years. 7 touchdown passes in one game. It was first done by Sid Luckman of the Bears in 1943, then by Adrian Burke of the Eagles in 54, and now that mark equaled here in this one.
Will Lutz to kick off for the Broncos.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone.
Home on the play. Recovered by the receiving team.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
Now, this game went off the rails early for them and never really got back on track. And these fans, they were expecting to be on the other side of the scoreboard. But that is not the case as we play on here in this fourth quarter.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they're very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. When I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
They go up the middle with Chubb. And he stopped immediately there. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Off-play action. Nix.
And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. And their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Chubb will score. Touchdown, Broncos.
For as good as Nick Chubb is in the open field, he's every bit as good when they line him up down near the goal line. He's a speed back between the 20s, but a power back down close, and he forces his way into the end zone.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose.
This will be returned from deep in the end zone.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
That 5-game win streak is ticking away here in the fourth quarter.
just haven't been as sharp in this one. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
That's laid out deep for Rice. And got his man complete. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. They go play fake. Mahomes. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked up by Nick Benito. And the Broncos are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. And I'm starting to wonder, Charles, if 5 interceptions, is that the last that we've seen of him?
Well, I think that a lot of people hope that's the last they've seen of him in this game, probably including himself. If this were baseball, the manager would have been at the mound already and asked for the ball, and he'd be in there getting a shower. But in football, you might have to go stand on the sideline and watch the rest of it and see if your backup can do any better.
A gain of 3, second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Well, they've certainly spread the ball around so far, but they're definitely getting everyone involved now when you're throwing it to the fullback. Just shows how versatile this offense is and how everyone is a threat.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down.
Let's go now.
Up the middle they go. It's Harvey. Gets through, and now an opening.
Another miss.
Still on his feet. And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the level.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And the Chiefs are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are, positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a first down.
Yellow.
Now Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. With this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
Mahomes now to throw. Then he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Third and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable.
15.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Flushed out right. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Patrick Mahomes taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Chiefs get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. It's caught inside the 10. Kelsey imposing his will. And he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for two does not pay off as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And this game, it could very well turn out to be the shocker of the weekend. Not too many expecting them to come in here and win. And they're not just winning, they're dominating. And now trying to finish this one off. Well, Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends. And understandably so, not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Broncos, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're back to 500 at 5-5. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.